Hey, what is up guys, Massive here, back to do another video, and I'm going to start this video off by showcasing the reverse bug fix I've been working on for the past 2 months. Now this has been in the works for, as I said, over 2 months. I've repeatedly tried to fix it in the past, to no avail. I haven't been able to fix it, but I've been continuously trying to fix this in recent times, and I've made several key discoveries that has certainly made it possible. Anyways, I'm going to showcase it here with 24 buggies. I faced some technical challenges at first when doing this. Most notably, the game had no way of repathing units, so I had to invest a lot of time in finding a way to do that. Nobody had really a solution. I did all of this on my own. The units that you see flashing in green are the ones that are being detected by the reverse bug fix. And the way I detect this is by essentially measuring how many frames certain types of animations are. I've been able to identify a pattern with units that bug. Now it doesn't work every time. The ones that highlight in white are the buggies is temporary. I found it to be a cause of the bug as well. It does trigger the bug, but I have yet to look into that. But I'd say at the moment it's quite satisfactory. And you can see the game even can distinguish between these moves across the map. If I reverse move these buggies across the map, the game won't interpret that as a bug because it looks the same. The game, if you reverse move across the map, you see those buggies all insta-turn like as they do when they're reverse bugging. That's something that I had to ensure was not a thing. There was a lot of side effects that I had to fix. And you can see here that the game detects for the most part the units that are bugging. I'd say it's going to be even better than this when it's released. And you can also see with subsequent move commands that the game doesn't try and detect for reverse bugs because units are already reversing. Anyways guys, that's just a quick showcase of the current progress with the reverse move bug. Hope you enjoyed this sneak peek into what you can expect in 2026. As I said, when the thing releases, it will be way more polished than as you see here, but I've been able to iron out all of the side effects, and that's the main thing. Performance wise, it should be great too. I'm no longer depending on distance checks, which are very costly. I had implemented a binary search to check the distance between one unit and another. That's no longer needed. Now I'm assigning a random anchor instead of getting the closest unit. Furthermore, I'm no longer using a dummy object to delay the call of a function. I've been able to work out a way to trigger this fix a lot quicker. And there you can see the buggies going back to the group. So yeah guys, hope you all enjoyed this sneak peek. I'm going to go ahead and show you all the video that I have in store for you. It's going to be on Alpine Forest, so let's go take a look at that. And this is the main event. We're on Alpine Forest. I'm going to be playing as the Zocon faction in this game. My opponent will be playing as Blackhand. Not a particularly great map for Zocon against Blackhand. There's a contested field in the middle, and you guys all know what that means. It means bad news for Zocon when it comes to the late game, because they have no artillery to contest that field. They can't really combat multi-MCV too well, especially when that multi-MCV is pushed with beam cannons. Beam cannons so good in this matchup. I think your opponent, the Zocon player, has a Marv out on the field. The beam cannons deal with that very nicely. But at Zocom, you got a couple tricks up your sleeve. One of them is the Zocom Walker. It has huge burst potential, so much DPS. They often make it out alive as well. Really, you need Tip Core as a nod to counter Zocom Walkers, but they're not particularly amazing versus Nod as compared to versus GDI, because all of Nod's units move super quick. Bike Buggy can dodge it most of the time. If your opponent's not looking, of course, you can probably kill it, but and most of the time you're not going to be able to kill Bike Buggy with that. That's really the one issue with the Zocom Walker, but you are sort of forced to build them due to the sensor pod upgrade. You really need that against stealth tanks later on. Any tool you have to detect and hunt down stealth tanks you need to use. You're not building the Zocom Walkers to kill the stealth tanks, but you're upgrading and using sensor pods to place on mammoth tanks. If you place them on the mammoths, they can essentially secure your Tiberium field. They can patrol that and defend it against any stealth tank harassment. Nothing happening in the early game in this map. This is a map that's rarely featured on my channel. It is a really beautiful map. I have to say, one small complaint I have of it is that oftentimes MCVs don't want to move to the expansion. It takes more than one move command. It's like this on several maps. It's just due to how the pathing works. Such as here. The MCV couldn't path around that mountain. So I'm going to be forced to deploy and go for a second war factory. I was going to anyways because I see he's going for that second war factory. This is the sort of map that second war factory is probably very effective on, because look how far the expansion is compared to most other maps, especially maps released in recent times. What does it mean? Well, there's a correlation between how far apart the expansion is and how effective two war factory can be. So that's why we're seeing two war factories. It's a strategy that doesn't work on some maps, but on a map like this, it's the way to go. I'm going for a massed pitbull. I don't think my opponent has committed as much as I have into the two war factories, but I am putting these units on hold fire. Even though I'm overkilling with those pitbulls, I'd rather do that than waste shots on the buggies. The buggies do barely any damage. They're just there to absorb damage and tank shots. If you've got your pits on hold fire, your opponent won't achieve what he's looking to do with those raider buggies. It's the only reason he built them. I'm gonna get some of these stranglers, these tanks out in the open. If I can destroy that, that'll be nice. Some nice rear damage on that Scorpion tank there. He's going Scorps because of the pitbulls. He didn't have enough bike buggy on the map. I was doing a decent job in focus firing those bikes, so he's instead opted to go for Scorps. If I were him, I would go for Black Hand Infantry. That's what Black Hand's kind of known for, right? Their infantry spam. It would secure this location really well. The only problem with infantry is you can't really counterattack with it effectively. It's so easy to pick off in the mid game as GDI if it's just walking across the map. By the time APM is online, you've got a bunch of APCs and hammerheads which can easily deal with that sort of threat. I've still kept these pitbulls alive, and that's what I recommend in this matchup. You don't want to throw away your pitbulls if you can help it. Having them around is really nice, just because you can stop flame tanks later on. You can scout where your opponent's army is to position your predator tanks. You got to have something out on the map, essentially. You got to contest the blue Tiberium if there's any. Can't just let the Nod player secure all of the map, because then he'll gain a huge advantage. And you won't know what to build either. If you're not scouting, if you're not present on the map, how will you know what your opponent's building? How will you know what to build yourself to counter it? You know, there's so many factors involved. So the Pitbull's essential in this situation. I'm transitioning into Predator tanks, and a common thing to do after is hammerheads your Zocom. So Predator tanks into hammerheads is a really potent combination. The hammerheads can pick off the infantry, the Predator tanks can go for the bike buggy, and I don't think bike buggy will be on the top of his mind. I suspect infantry, so the hammerheads makes a lot of sense in this situation. Laser fence comes down on the MC. It would be nice if it could kill it. I don't want to use the Orca Strike just yet, because that'll just telegraph to my opponent, hey look, I've got an airfield, build Mantis. I don't want to do that just yet, and I don't feel like I can kill this MCV, so I'm going to pull back. Obelisk comes down. If I had tried to finish it off, probably would have lost me the game already. Maybe the Orca Strike would have been a good call. The thing about the Zocom Orca Strike is it does more damage. Those Zocom Orcas from the Orca Strike do more damage than the regular one. You can't kill cranes and outposts. Back in the day you could, but in R23 that's not possible. And now with these 10 hammerheads, I can probably sneak up on him, get the element of surprise. This is classic Zocom. But sadly for me, I do not have the AP ammo. I forgot to research AP ammo, and this is disastrous now. Because look how little DPS these are doing, and I just noticed it, and that's tragic in this matchup. I wasn't able to kill that MCV. The Mantis gets a hammerhead kill. I'm going to finish it off, but at the cost of 1-2 of my hammerheads. And unfortunately for me, that transition was a failure. If I had got AP ammo, I probably would have finished him off in that moment, but not to be, I'm afraid. And now I'm going to have to transition into the late game. The thing Zocom players fear the most in this matchup is a late game confrontation with Nod, because that often entails doom. Lots of camping, lots of base defenses, and you have to straight up fight it with your units. This Purifier is very threatening. I've not got the AP ammo yet. I'm going to sell these airfields off, and the ref. I've got triple ref on that field. I was trying to out macro, but there's no tib left now, so it's worth it to sell. You get $700 for selling a ref, so it certainly makes sense to do so. And finally, I've got that AP ammo upgrade. Look at the damage difference with that upgrade. It's insane. The question is, what do I do against this infantry and SAM turret push? The SAM sites are totally negating these hammerheads. These hammerheads just can't engage. A lot of them are being picked off. And with the tip core, my fortunes have been turned around. I have nothing now. Just these hammerheads. A mammoth tank, 2 mammoth tanks comes out, but the infantry I just can't seem to engage. Because of those Nod SAM sites, I was able to get some infantry there. Really, these hammerheads can't stick around here. They're going to get picked off. Mammoth tanks, they're not particularly great in this situation against that man spam, against that infantry, but they will be good against those 2 purifiers if they don't pull back. They're going to get pulled back. MCV moves an inch closer to place down more base defenses. Mammoths being targeted and destroyed. I've got 4 mammoths. One of them is really low on health. There's a wall of watchtowers, but yeah, he's got a wall of turrets himself. And these hammerheads need to stay out of range. The one problem for me currently is economy. Now, I have been able to secure the bottom tip spike throughout the duration of this game. That is a nice advantage. But it's really hard dealing with double obelisk and 2 purifiers with mammoth tanks. It's really hard. I'm going to lose a mammoth. And these don't get railguns as Zocom. They're just regular mammoths. Commando gets killed. Those particle beams are so powerful. And one thing I could say about Senna here is he's not going for the quad turret upgrade. Imagine with the quad turrets how much more damage these turrets could be doing. I don't think it's going to matter because I've lost all of my mammoth tanks. These hammerheads don't have the numbers anymore to do some huge damage. But maybe if I can take out this tier 2 without him placing a SAM site, I can disrupt him a bit. And that was crucial timing. That was the perfect timing for those hammerheads to sweep in and take out his tech. I'm going to reset him to tier 1. He's not going to have any more obelisks. Now he's got a double MCV, remember, so he can quickly replace that operations center to get down some SAMs. He's going to push in anyhow. These obelisks are going to take out the mammoths. They're going to take out those watchtowers. MCV will fall. These hammerheads have gotten so much more damage than what they should have. Commando just makes it out. I've got an armory back there. I can put it in the armory, get some heals on it. That's one thing you can do. The infantry heals a lot faster in R23 when you place them inside of armories. It also replenishes all the lost squad members. And what do I do against this infant, this obelisk now? I'm not sure what to do. Orca Strike on that husk. It's going to be too late. He gets it. Now, one thing I could say about that Orca Strike is it did, despite it not being able to prevent the husk capture, it did damage the obelisk and purifier significantly. So looking at the positives, that was nice. Commando sweeps in once again. Look how fast it kills those rocket squads. It's because of the disciples. That's why I'm building the Commando, because if you can dispose of the Cabals quickly, then the rocket squads are dead meat. Those disciple members don't have the DPS or the range. Really, it's the range to deal with that Commando. The Commando can just endlessly kill rocket squads. I gotta be microing, and that's what I'm doing. Those 3 mammoths are trying to take out the turrets, but those particle beams are noticeably damaging these mammoth tanks. They just don't have really anything, and without a Marv, this is really hard. As any other faction, you'd have artillery at your disposal. Commando once again almost dying, and I'm going for Zone Raiders. I'm really struggling to think what to build. These Zone Raiders, I thought maybe they'd work because they got a lot of splash damage. If I can build up a lot of them, perhaps I can one-shot kill those Shredder turrets with those Zone Raiders and not take damage. Of course, I'd lose a lot of the Zone Raiders, but it would still take out the base defenses faster than what these Mammoth tanks are doing. Mammoths are pretty wounded. I want to get them near that war factory, force some repairs. I'm building up APCs now because, yeah, it just struck me I don't have the Zone Raiders in the numbers I need. So putting in the APCs for some extra survivability would not go amiss. I've even got some sniper teams as well. I think there's one back there taking out this man spam, and there's just more and more harvesters being destroyed. My economy is in shambles. Neither one of us have been able to harvest from this tip field. APCs doing what they can, and I've still got 2 hammers. Where did those come from? Well, they're on low health. It might be worth building an airfield, but yeah, sending those up to the top of the map. Perhaps that blue tip field would be a smart move, just to camp it, prevent it from being harvested. I've still got some harvesters left. He's harvesting as much as I am, but I do have a spike advantage over him. That bottom tip spike is allowing me to equalize with the base defense spam somewhat. It's still difficult. Look how many turrets he has. He's just camping behind these typical SAMs and particle being shredders with man spam, and it's so hard for me to take out this position. Like I said, without artillery, what do? You just gotta hope you have more than him. Currently I don't, and he's encroaching ever closer onto this position. Like I said, guys, imagine if the Nob player had quad turrets in this game. It's also worth mentioning that in 1.2 Plus, the turrets do less damage, so That's insane. If this was vanilla patch, Zocon would be cooked. They would have nothing right now. Those Maoists would be falling even faster than they currently are to shredder turrets. These rocket squads, so I'm taking them out. I'm trying to kill this shredder turret wall. It's really frustrating. Commando comes in inside the APC this time. That means it can hunt and kill these infantry forces. I just want to kill the Cabal squads because those are super annoying to deal with. Maybe getting some repairs on those hammerheads, like I said before, would be nice, just to hunt and kill down those Cabals. And the Commando uses the jump jet C4 ability. If you didn't know, if you order your Commando to jump jet on an enemy structure, it will automatically kill that structure when it hits it. So that's nice. You don't have to micro your Commando to kill the MCV. It will happen automatically. It's a little known feature. I included it in the 15 things you didn't know about Kane's Draft video. A lot of people knew about it, but I didn't until a few years ago. And this Commando is now milking the infantry. Sen is going to fight on, and Blackhand have a lot of fight in them in the late game. This infantry is so cheap and effective to spam in the late game. Blackhand can essentially go toe-to-toe, and even more so, with no economy left. When it comes to a low eco game, definitely Blackhand is favoured against a GDI. And I'm hoping to finish him off here. I was confident, but I forgot. Oh yeah, that's right. Black Disciples, they can clear Foxholes. Not sure what I was thinking there. But I am establishing a double ref on this field, so after what, 10 minutes, I've finally got down an expansion. And I'm going to build some hammerheads up. Another Commando would be nice. It's just a handful of Cabal squads to his name. And I thought this was a really good game. It's only going to be a matter of time before Senna loses this. He's finished. Anyways, guys, before I wrap this up, I'd like to say a big thank you to those who have continuously supported me on Patreon. Your support has gone a long way this last couple of months. It's been going, it's went for a long way for a long time at this point. Several of my members have been supporting me in the long term, and I really do appreciate that. But it has been much appreciated in recent times because I've been spending hundreds of hours on that reverse bug fixes. It now consists of over 700 lines of code. The amount of times I've had to restart Kane's Wrath, make changes, edits, try and fail, it's insane. If it weren't for your support, I would not have had the motivation to do that. So again, thank you very much. I really do appreciate the support on Patreon. It's motivating me to do these things. Anyways, guys, this is it from me, Master Steve. Hope you all enjoyed this brawl on Tournament Alpine, a map that we rarely see. I thought it was a cool game. Zocon versus Blackhand. Mammoths in the middle of the map. Not something you see against Blackhand too often. Most of the time players go for the Marv, as they should, because the Marv is way better at in those situations, because you can also Marvist the Tib as well. That would have been a way better option. Marvist the Tib, and behind it go for Sonic emitters. That's how you're supposed to do it, but I did it in a more fun and explosive way. Anyways, this is it from me, Master Leaf, and I hope you all enjoyed this video. Peace out.